Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players, and Hondo here, and today I'm going to be talking about Hondo Ohnaka. It's been a while since I've done a video about Hondo, but I've done some videos of, what if he comes to Galaxy Heroes, etc., etc. But I want to talk about today, if he comes to Galaxy of Heroes, and developers know they've been, putting him off and putting him off and putting him off, and I feel like around this time is probably a good time to bring him out. Now the question is how will Hondo Ohnaka come to the game? How will Hondo Ohnaka be unlocked? And that's the big question. And I feel like there are two viable possibilities. One being a galactic, a epic confrontation character, being a really big opportunity to bring in maybe a new pirate faction or the Ohnaka gang. One of those two could make it into the game. They maybe just make it a pirate faction and then have all the characters have a unique that says Ohnaka gang member, Ohnaka gang captain, and etc., etc. So there's synergy through the uniques instead of the tag itself. But the other option I can also see is a Galactic Legend. And I will, walk through some battles that could be done with it. At least, it'd be cool to see these kind of battles play out with Hondo Ohnaka, because he's such a fan favorite. Why wouldn't he come as a big thing, as a big character? Because so many people like him. I actually like him. I think he's a pretty cool pirate type person. But, he has that, kind of Jack Sparrow feel, but in a whole different way. As well as it's, Star Wars versus Pirates of the Caribbean, etc. But let's talk about this, though, real quick. I will say this. I know they put it off so long. In the past, I feel like Hondo Ohnaka coming to the game would, if they released it back in the day, it would have been like a legendary or a journey. But I feel like times have changed since we've gotten epic confrontations, Galactic Legends, and I feel like, why not? Why not talk about Hondo Ohnaka? So, I'm going to talk about two possible and ways to unlock them and ways to allow Capital Games to actually market so that he makes sense. So, I'm going to first talk about the epic confrontation. Epic confrontations usually have like 2 to 4 battles. Like Malak had 2 battles where General Skywalker had 3 battles, I think. Separatists. Man, it's been so long. You know what? Let's go to his event. I just got off work, so I'm trying to remember everything. Journey guide. Battle. Well, it's... I think it's... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's 4 battles. You got ships... then you got this team, and then the Grievous, and then, yeah. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, so it's been about 2 to 4 battles you actually have in a epic confrontation. So I'm proposing a possibility that could be 4. And here are the battles I'm going to talk about. So first off, you got to talk about the fact of the time where Count Dooku gets captured by the Ohnaka gang. He gets surrounded and everything. I'm sure he'd, be able to get himself out in a way, but I think he was still enough outnumbered that he didn't push it, because there are times where, even, very powerful Force users, if they're really outnumbered, they're just gonna hold off. And maybe the Dooku was planning on playing the situation out. See where things lead. That's always another option. But yeah, Count Dooku was captured, and then General Skywalker and Kenobi came in, and then they got captured because they were going to try to make a deal and stuff. So we could see this battle where you have all 3 of these guys, and then all their leaderships should, have a turn into an event, or like have an event leadership or something where they all get the bonuses. So they're not like, two leaderships are boosting each other, but not boosting Count Dooku. So just maybe a prisoner leadership where whatever the leadership is, it counts just, these various prisoners instead. Or, captured Force users, something like, whatever it'd be called. But there you go. You got this battle where you fight the Ohnaka gang, and maybe this one could be a wave one. Like, it'd be the first time you run into Hondo. So it would be on the weaker side of battle. and it's a wave, so you fight Ohnaka gangs and you fight Hondo, or you just straight up fight Hondo with a setup of the Ohnaka gang with his droid. I would say with his droid because you can change up all the different battles throughout each of these different lineups. Next is the time where the bounty hunters are helping farmers excuse me, protect their crops. And then, of course, thanks to The Mandalorian, awesome show, they decided to take this idea and do it to where Mando and Cara Dune actually does this. But Anakin, Kenobi, and Ahsoka all are, they get shot down, and they are now on Felucia, and they run into the farmers, and the bounty hunters are protecting, the farmers. Now, you would have, one of these three characters with Imbo and Sugi, the, character that actually runs around with, future Boba Fett's style of a blaster rifle. But Sugi would actually be your marquee character. So here's where your first character that actually gets you, Capital Games their money, because it'd be a character you have to farm to start unlocking. There you go. And you got that battle out of the way. You fight, bounty hunters. You have these two bounty hunters plus these three fighting the Ohnaka gang. Now this is where, it changes up a little bit. The next one would be the Separatist droids when they come and take, try to capture the Ohnaka gang and take them out and stuff like that, thanks to the revenge, Dooku. Dooku got captured. He didn't like that, but he finally had time to say, okay, I'm sending Grievous in. However, you want a marquee character to run with, and I think, if I remember right, it's been a while since I've seen the episode, but you would actually sub out Droideka for the Commando droid, the BX series Commando droid, and there's your marquee character right there, which could also, change up this lineup too. You bring out the marquee character, boom, you got yourself a new team to work with. Plus, you also have, something, or Capital Games has, a way to make some money off of it. There you go. Now, granted, I don't know what relic levels they'd actually put the Hondo at. They'd probably at least want all these characters, at least for the Epic Confrontation, maybe a minimum of relic 4 or 5. Especially since some of them are already required, like these top or relic 8 requirements. So, yeah. And the final battle would be when Maul and Savage, and this would be the tall legs Maul that you see in the Clone Wars. So they'd have to bring another marquee, but, it gives Maul some more love. And there you go. You got yourself, Maul and Savage versus General Kenobi, Ada Gallia, and Hondo Ohnaka. Just those three. And that's your finisher. 2 versus 3. Let's see how things go. So that's how I would see it battle-wise for an Epic Confrontation. And the characters required. They would be, let's see. So, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5, 11 characters. So it's still about the same amount. Okay, 12. Sorry, I forgot Dooku. I was trying not to count General Skywalker and Kenobi twice. So you got 12 characters, required for it. Now, if we want to go into a Galactic Legend, first off, I want to say these 4 battles would make the most sense to convert it over. And this is how you actually unlock Hondo, is you have to battle these 4 battles numerous times. Boom, now you have Hondo Ohnaka unlocked. And then after that, you would have various other battles where you have Hondo Ohnaka doing different things. Like maybe Hondo Ohnaka, you team up with Ahsoka Tano, and Ahsoka Tano, helps you fight Grievous and the droids, during that raid that the Separatists come. So it's like the second half. They could really play this well and make it to where when you go to unlock Ultimate Mats, you're using Hondo for various new battles, different battles instead of the same old battle. Because this would be and also if you did do a Galactic Legend as well if Capital Games, not you, but Capital Games did a Galactic Legend, this would be the first Galactic Legend that you don't have a previous variation for, because this is, one of the 2 variations Hondo Ohnaka would have for a game. If, they bring him in, because the second character they could actually bring in would be a veteran pirate Hondo, which would be, Star Wars Rebels variation. So, So they have two good options to work with. And I feel like that Rebels variation could be just a legendary or just even a marquee character, just so players, if they want a Hondo, you get a Hondo, but it's not as good as the Galactic Legend Hondo. Or, yeah, so they could, do something like that. So now, going into it, here's the characters I'm thinking of that would actually work really well for requirements for a Galactic Legend, as well as one ship, Galactic Legend Hondo Ohnaka. Now, there's a lot of repeats, mind you. Okay, let me get it down here. A lot of repeats. So here's the first 10. A lot of the repeats, but that's just because a lot of them already have like high relic requirements, like 8 Dooku, 8 Kenobi, 8 Skywalker. I'm pretty sure they'd have to require some of them up to 8 relic 9 or relic 10 or whatever the highest relic requirement is at the time he actually would come out, if they went this route again. Grievous would probably be up there. Jango Fett, I see that just because there's a connection where Hondo knew Jango, and honestly, it wouldn't hurt to provide him. Granted, yes, you would have to take him up a relic or level or 2. Aurra Sing would make sense, relic 5, 6, or 7, because, Aurra Sing and Hondo had a thing with each other. Ahsoka Tano's ran across Hondo a bunch of times. Mob Enforcer would be your one little, hardly ever used character, gotcha type characters. But hopefully if they did do that, they could probably maybe rework her so she can actually taunt. Maybe whenever thermals are placed, she can taunt. So you can actually run her with like in 3v3 Zam and Dengar, Zam lead, Dengar, and then Mob Enforcer, so you can have some, at least a tank to work with those bounty hunters. Savage Opress, just because you were actually, again, you run into Savage Opress, plus this would be his first relic requirement, so he'd probably be relic 5 to 7. Boba Fett, this is in place of Boba Fett's Slave 1. That's the only ship I can see Capital Games tying himself to, is because unless they randomly, give, Hondo his luxury yacht to a veteran, and they bring out the veteran prior, then that could be a thing too. And then the last 5 are, and you're like seeing Boba Fett, you're like, yeah, these are all marquees. This would be a 5 character marquee. And plus the little catch requirement. These could all be like relic level 4 to 5. So the first one would be Boba Fett. Young Boba Fett, when he's actually like on that train mission, that look. Obviously I'm going to be posting a picture so you'll see. So you'd have young Boba Fett because of the connection where, obviously Hondo knew Jango, and he was the one that helped, prevent any more deaths in a way that, Boba Fett didn't want to, because his only focus at the time was to kill Mace Windu, to take revenge. He didn't, he didn't want anyone else to get hurt, and, he kind of talked to Boba Fett and saying this would be an honorable thing. Your father would have done it. So that's why there's that connection with Jango Fett as well. But, that's the, young Boba Fett I can see. Then you got Darth Maul. However, this would be the tall legs Maul. I brought up prior to in the Epic Confrontation character requirements. So this would definitely be, tall legs Maul. And then you got 3 characters. Actually, technically, you could theoretically have 4, and it would be the one way Capital Games could allow a version of Hondo be required, and that's bring in the veteran pirate Hondo, or veteran, whatever veteran type he would be, but the old man Hondo from Star Wars Rebels, bring him in as a marquee, use him to unlock the Clone Wars variant. This would be the first time we'd also have a reverse. Either they, you don't require a version of the character, or it'd be the first time you require a older version to unlock the younger version. So it could, go both ways. Or you can run the 3, these would be 3 light side bounty hunters. It would actually give bounty hunters a full light side team for like light side GOTB and stuff like that. But it would be Sugi. And we've already talked about her before. Then you'd have Rumi, which is the sniper that sadly dies. But, she can be either a support or a high damage dealer. And then you got Separatists. I think that's how you're pronouncing that. How I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. And Separatists would definitely make sense as a bounty hunter tank. These are all bounty hunters. It would give a light side bounty hunter team. You'd have another, you know, I could see Sugi as a support. And then I could see maybe the Rumi as also a support as well, but a damage dealing support, kind of like Grandmaster Yoda. And then of course you got the tank. So, you know, Bounty Hunters has a second tank to work with. You could play around with a lot of mishmash teams to have fun with. And, you know, that Serapis is that little dude in the big mech suit, essentially. Not really a mech suit, but like whatever armor suit that he's in, just to, you know, get him to move around. There you go. You got yourself 3 new bounty hunters, and there's your 5 marquees. So you have big money characters, plus the mob enforcer that I'm sure, other than, I think it was Darth Kemshi, I think he previewed a roster where someone had a Relic 7 mob enforcer, and I'm like, okay, weird, but okay. I will say one thing about that, because, you know, mob enforcer does have, if you run a full scoundrel, almost a full scoundrel team, and Wat Tambor, you know, she's gonna get a lot of max health, and if you throw the tank tag on her, she could, you know, taunt pretty effectively. I'd assume. I don't know how she works, but, you know, that's the only thing I can think of that they did. Like, maybe they just had some, you know, 3-man bounty on her team with Mob Enforcer and Wat Tambor just to, you know, throw the tank tech on and go. But aside from that, yeah, you know, there's your 6 big characters you have to get, the one gotcha character, plus all these other characters that would still be, you know, high resources. Relic 8s, Relic 7, Relic 9s and 10s, whatever the highest relic is at the time they do bring them out. But I don't know what you guys think, but that is my thoughts on Hondo Ohnaka coming to Galaxy of Heroes. Will we see him? I hope soon. I hope maybe by the end of this year, maybe December 2021, we get Hondo. And maybe they release him, you know, release all of his requirements and him right away and just say, have fun and go. It'd be the early Christmas present. Maybe that last October, November, December is when they start releasing, you know, the requirements for it. And we only get 3 Galactic Legends. A standout Galactic Legend, that's Hondo Ohnaka. But, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What characters would you see be required for either the Galactic Legend version or a Epic Confrontation version? And aside from that, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all those that watch the videos I make. Please like, share, and subscribe, and you guys have a phenomenal day.